What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Glory career mode today. May I add, the final episode in a CREWE shirt. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Today's episode is the final time that we will witness ourselves in a CREWE shirt. We have spent a long time with them here, taking them all the way from League 2 to Champions League winners. We've done so much with this CREWE Alexandra side, but today it all comes to the end. Today we play the Champions League final against Spurs. And this is going to be interesting because you may or may not know, actually, and that's another thing I need to report on, we have the European Championships coming up with England, and that is the final thing of the series that we'll be playing. So after today's episode is all about England, and then after that we'll do like a whole series roundup and all that stuff. But we're in a massive episode, and that is the Champions League final. Spurs the opponents. Now, traditionally I don't really have the greatest of times against Spurs. Normally I play quite bad when I'm against Spurs, especially now that they've taken Green off our hands. He's a Spurs player. He was once our number one, but I felt like he wasn't doing enough for us. So I decided to let him go to Spurs. In his place, we picked up Donnarumma, who's come in and been important in some games, but then in other games has gone a bit quiet and hasn't really done a lot. Now, the last time we played against Spurs was actually in the Premier League, and you witnessed it. We lost to a Harry Kane strike. We lost by a goal to nil. So there's a little bit of unfinished business here. We've got to face against Green. We have to beat them. But we've also got to try and end this series off with a high. I mean, we don't want to lose our final game as Spurs boss. I mean, as CREWE Alexandra boss. I don't know why I said Spurs. But if you look at the team we've got, it's ridiculous. I've got no excuses. If I lose this final, you can all call me bad in the comment section. You can all say all you want about me. Because, quite honestly, with the team that we have here, no way should I lose this. The slider settings, yes, they're difficult. Yes, we have played with them and they are quite tough. But the truth of the matter is, we shouldn't lose this. We really shouldn't. And that's the case. So as I'm changing around the side here, I don't know who I'm starting. In fact, Lewis Cook comes off. We'll start Espinoza because Espinoza's been brilliant. I think we've got to start Christensen as well. But then again, Konsa's got to start. So, yeah, we just shouldn't lose. You're seeing the team here. It's honestly unbelievable. We have a front three that are 90 plus. Barso Villa 88, Zachariah 86. 90 rated centre-back, 92 rated goalkeeper. It's a ridiculous side. So we just shouldn't lose this final. So as I said, you can call me bad if it happens. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into this final. Although, I want to change up the half slightly. So let me throw it on to 6 minutes a half instead of the 4. Slider settings are, of course, all the same as they once were. And last time we played against them, as I said, we lost to a Harry Kane strike. So if that's anything to go by, could be in for a tough afternoon here. But that is the team. We're playing at the Wanda Metropolitano. I have no idea where that is. I'm not even going to pretend like I have an idea. But without further ado, legendary difficulty, slider settings the way they are, 6 minutes a half. I can see Dele Alli on the left-hand side of my screen. We're going in with that starting 11 for the final time in this series. CREWE Alexandra face Spurs. It's our final management game as CREWE boss. This is going to be it. After this game, there is no more DJ Wood as CREWE Alexandra manager. It's going to be DJ Wood England manager, and then after that, DJ Wood retired manager, because that'll be the case. But, I mean, it would be so great to win this. Do you know what as well? It doesn't even matter. If we don't win it, we don't win it. We've been so dominant. We've won everything that I set out to win with this CREWE team. We've taken them so far. This would be the cherry on the cake, the icing on the cake. But at the end of the day, if we lose, we lose. I don't really mind. And it would be great to end off on a high, so let's begin. He's got to play a big part today. Mbappe, I tell you what, recently, hasn't done the business. Been a bit hit and miss, but he's got to play a massive part tonight. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. And here we go then. Spurs, CREWE, 2 English teams in the Champions League final. I'm not used to seeing this. When I was younger, we went through a period where we'd always have an English team in the final, but then recent years haven't been the case. Whereas Liverpool, of course, in real life did get there last year, but sadly were defeated by Real Madrid. And today we are going to see 2 English teams in action. Is that Red Bull Leipzig in that semi-final against Spurs? They absolutely battered them and Bayern on their way here. 4-0 against Bayern, 5-1 against Leipzig. So, my goodness me, they certainly have made a case for this this Champions League trophy. Poch on the sideline, there he is. Players to watch, Anthony Martial, 8 goals, second in the Champions League. But of course, the player out there on your right-hand side, Kylian Mbappe, holds the top spot for goals in the Champions League with 11 to his name. So it's the case of the 2 attackers, I guess you could call it. And we hold the one who's in more goals than the other one. But Martial's no easy feat. There is the Spurs lineup, and I can see him already. Jay Green, there he is in your goal. Harry Kane and Ali start up front. Martial, Toussaint, Ruben Neves and Edwards as the midfielders. Aurier, Jedvaj, Manamana and Dalbert as the back four. I've probably butchered Manamana. I don't actually know. Mamana, that's his name, not Manamana. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, there it is. Champions League trophy. I've spoken for a long time, guys. Without further ado, let's do it. You've seen our team. Here we go. Frat Chat gets us underway for the Champions League final. The final game in a CREWE Alexandra shirt. Who's your money on? Who is your money on? Alexander-Arnold in towards Zachariah already. Looking for a fast start here. That was poor, actually, from Barca Villar. Got to do better. I mean, that's not a difficult pass to play into, Frat Chat, but that's also a misplaced pass by Edwards. Maybe the occasion getting to a couple of these players here as Mbappe fires it to Frat Chat. Back towards Mbappe. Mbappe's in. Got to shoot. Green out very quickly to stop the Frenchman from giving us the lead. Got to admit, that touch from Mbappe wasn't as I'd hoped, as that's why Espinosa's in the side to just win those balls back like that. That touch from Mbappe certainly letting him down slightly in the grand scheme of things. I felt he could have done a little bit better there. Not quite, though. Zachariah now towards Barca Villa. There's no space in this midfielder. Spurs are very, very quick to close down. Espinosa again towards Mbappe. Looking for Pulisic, who's got around Aurier. Pulisic now. Again, another big chance. And again, it's too easy for Jay Green, who will have those all day long. Loves to take those into his chest, and he's going to keep doing that as Mbappe again on the ball. Very fast start from us as Fratchak towards Mbappe again. Another chance for Kylian Mbappe, and he makes no mistake with this one. Inside 10 minutes, CREWE Alexandra lead in this Champions League final. We started off the miles better of the two teams here, and you've got to say from Spurs' standpoint, it has been poor defensively. But the ferocity of our attacks, the pace we've got up there, it's difficult for them to defend, and this finish is of the highest quality from a player that you'd expect. He's 94 rated at the end of the day. This is quite possibly one of the best sides I've ever had in a FIFA career mode. So, you know, that's a big thing to live up to. And inside 10 minutes, we've got the breakthrough already in this Champions League final. Who cares about the League 1-0 win you got against the Spurs? I'm not bothered. We'll do you in the Champions League final instead. Lukaku, Christian Pulisic. I tell you what, Spurs have not started off well here at all. Pulisic down the left, crosses, Mbappe back post. And again, another chance goes begging straight at Jay Green, who, as I said earlier, will have those all afternoon long. But that, I don't know what's happened to Spurs. They've started off so poorly. They just can't get the ball under control and play it. We've had the majority of the play so far. Villar, Zachariah in towards Espinosa, back towards Villar, now towards Lukaku, into Fratchak. Fratchak looking for Mbappe, and that's going to get cleared by Manmana. But again, yeah, this is a joke of a start from Tottenham. Their fans are not going to be happy with them here. Lukaku, Barca Villar again. Espinosa the intended target. It's gone to him. Zachariah, little one around the corner to Fratchak. He was in. Instead chose Pulisic. And they can't get out, Spurs. That's going to be a free kick. Wait, the referees hasn't played advantage, actually. Can we win the header? Yes, we can. We've actually got the ball back again. Problem is, you can't count them out. They're a good side, Spurs. Here's Dele Alli. Just as I was saying, you can't count them out. They've hit us on the counter, and their first chance has turned golden for Dele Alli. Spurs 1, CREWE 1. It's taken 26 minutes for Spurs to even get out of their half, but when they've done it, they found the breakthrough. A ball into Harry Kane. It was such poor defending from us again. I mean, that is the first time they've had the ball out of their own half, and they've made us pay for it. So you can only say well done to Spurs, but we have to be better in that situation. Lapse in concentration, and we're made to pay for it. Spurs 1, CREWE 1. Game back on here at the in this Champions League final. Genuinely, I was so surprised by the way that Spurs have started this game. I thought we had it in the bag, but that's taken us back down to earth a little bit here. Mbappe just about keeps hold of that ball now as Espinosa back. This is what I mean, though. Spurs clearly coming here looking to defend, whilst we are going to have all the play, all the possession, but it's how well we use it. Here is Barca Villar. Pulisic. There goes Fratchak. You can see him making the run, and he's in. Fratchak gets there ahead of the defender, and he just about squeezes it past Jay Green to make it CREWE 2, Tottenham 1. And just after Dele Alli had given Spurs the way back into the game, Fratchak puts us back in front. The Pole is back. He's not had the greatest campaign As I said in a previous episode, the ball through from Pulisic was just a hopeful one, a bit like the one for Harry Kane, but it's just the pace of Fratchak. He gets there ahead of Jedvaj. He can't get anywhere near it. I've probably butchered his name, and that is poor goalkeeping from Jay Green. We're showing why we let him go for all that money to Spurs. They paid the big bucks for him because he has moments of quality. He can save you. He can get you points. But it's moments like that, and that's the reason we let him go. You can't, as a goalkeeper, let that one go through your legs into the bottom corner. And we're back here in front as Mbappe steals it towards Pulisic, in towards Fratchak. Chance to turn. Fratchak still on the ball, looking for Mbappe. Got a lot of pace, remember. Not quite able to use it just yet. Fratchak again. Zakaria towards Barso Villa. A little bit of space for Villa to use. Oh, that's a great turn. What a turn from the Spaniard. Barso Villa from distance. Oh, and he's inches away from the top corner. There was skipper Ezri Konsa doing his bit defensively. He's also been brilliant this series, and that's a great knock from Fratchak. And of course, it's going to be Mbappe to win that foot race every day of the week as he gives it towards Zakaria. Chance to turn for him. He's going to just about get it towards Villa. Villa's got to go to Lukaku. He has no other pass on. But here is Jordan Lukaku in an advanced area for us. Puts the cross in. Mbappe backstick unmarked. What a save from Jay Green. And that is the moment I was discussing earlier when I said he has those moments, because he comes out so quickly to put him under pressure there. Mbappe, who had time to bring the ball under control, and that is a phenomenal save, as now he will win it back with Zakaria towards Mbappe, looking for Fratchak on the run. It's got to be dealt with by man-to-man, and it is. Good defending in the end, but what a save from Jay Green. A chance for Mbappe to put the game to bed, and he was so quick and alert off his line to stop us scoring a third. Uh-oh, hang on a moment, Martial's in. Anthony Martial towards the byline he goes, looking for the square, back towards now Toussaint, who goes down in the box. He gets the shot away beforehand. Referee doesn't point to the spot like I thought he was going to do. And at the halftime break, I've got to say this. It has been such an open game here. We've been the better side, but defensively we look very, very open, and that's a little bit of a worry. Spurs only having the 2 chances, but my goodness me, how close were the 2? And I've got to say again, that save just before the halftime whistle from Jay Green, that is a big moment. Harry Kane, it's bounced back. No way. No way is this happening. Bounced back to him 3 times there, Harry Kane. And he nearly put it in. They've hit the woodwork. We're so lucky to not actually go back on level terms here. 2-2. Defensively, again, that's the first real test we've had of this second half. And we haven't actually cleared our lines yet. I can't get it out. Toussaint turning around my edge of my area. Neves' strike now. It's going to bounce to Harry Kane. Lukaku on the thing. I can't get out. Why can't we clear the ball, boys? Konsa going there instead of Donnarumma. Kane on the rebound. What is happening back there? I don't know what's going on. The ball is just bouncing back to Spurs every single time. Martial's corner in. Konsa gets there. It's another corner, Tottenham. Tell you what, if we get out of this without conceding, I'll be very, very lucky indeed. Martial puts it in again. There goes Donnarumma this time. Punching back out towards the Frenchman. Konsa going over. Ref, that's never a free kick. This is outrageous. Spurs are mounting pressure as this second half has begun. Harry Kane over it. What's he going to do? Kane dinks it in. Alexander-Arnold gets it just about clear. Now we can break. There we go. About time we finally get out of our defensive line here as Fratchak looking for a way forward. The only pass forward is Pulisic, which has done very well, actually. And now we can actually lay it towards Zakaria, who's got Alexander-Arnold on a great run down the right. Not much support for him, though, so he gets the ball inside the box. Arnold. No, what was that pass? What was the pass from Alexander-Arnold? All right, guys, we're going to do a tactical change of formation here to the 4-2-3-1 narrow. Allows us to get a bit more support back, really, to defend, because at the moment we really are having problems. Evans is going to come on for Barso Villa. I think that's the only change I'm going to make at the moment. Christian Pulisic will be the other guy to go off as well. But for now, I'm going to leave him on there. Andre Da Costa is going to be the man to come on when we do eventually make that change. But we just need a little bit of security at the back because, as I said, Spurs have grown into this game and I really have struggled in the second half to get my foot on the ball and stop them having attacks. So we need to try and do that. And the only way to do that is by switching formation and trying to get a little bit more into it. But like here, the press from Spurs is really, really good. And that's caused me to have to play the forced pass. The press from Spurs has come in and it's worked wonders the second half. Villa, Pulisic, Fratchak. It's about time we finally got the ball out, but there's no outlet pass on to Fratchak. Oh my goodness, we're just trying to keep the ball at the moment and not lose it, but at the same time trying to get out. Konsa, back in towards Zakaria. Zakaria to Villa. Villa towards Pulisic. Pulisic to Fratchak. We need to move the ball quicker if we're to get anything, and as soon as we do, Spurs stand tall and defend well. Again, I really am struggling to get this ball up and into Spurs' areas where we had so much, fortune in that first half. Whereas this time, they are playing unbelievably well. And now here they come again. Toussaint in towards Martial. Martial across to Dele Alli. Ali towards Kane. Kane's delivery easy for Lukaku in the end to defend. Pulisic just needs to run the corner basically if I can. And I can't do it. He's not quick enough. He can't get around Aurier. And now we have a ball towards Barca Villa. Villa delivers it towards Alexander-Arnold. Martial, run the line. There we go. That's what we needed. 10 minutes to go here. Martial. Oh, sorry, it's actually Mbappe. Why am I thinking Martial? I don't know why I thought I had Martial. But Mbappe, nevertheless. Oh, what a run. Mbappe. No, Fratchak was the pass. Why did he do that? Never mind. It's gone in. Fratchak has scored the goal to win us the Champions League. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Why did Mbappe play it past Fratchak? I was slapping myself on the cheeks as I said that. Oh my goodness me, this game sometimes picks the wrong passes, it really does. But honestly, I can't complain because Fratchak has been a fox in the box today. He's taken his chances well. Here, that pass was supposed to be to Fratchak. Why it went to Pulisic, I don't know. In the end, I'm not going to complain because we are 2 goals in front of Spurs here now. Pulisic coming off, Da Costa coming on, and I think we need some fresh legs in the midfield as well. So let's get off Espinosa, who's been brilliant. But it's Lewis Cook's time to come on and shore up that midfield. So our left side now is where the fresh legs are. Get it out there. That's where we win the game. Now it's long, hopeful ball time from Spurs as they send one long. But it's headed out towards Fratchak. Fratchak trying to get forward. Are we able? Look at this. Like, the only thing I can do is run the line. Hang on a moment. Evans is run through. Evans gets there ahead of his man. And he dinks it over the top of Jay Green. It's Tottenham 1. CREWE Alexandria 4. And this Champions League final is over. We're going to do it again. I can't believe that he is the man to secure us our Champions League against a former teammate as well. It's so unlucky for Jay Green. Commiserations to him, but I've got to say this. We've been brilliant. We really have. First half performance, we were unbelievable. Spurs, I give them credit. This second half, although we've won it by more goals than expected, it's been difficult. Their press has been really good, and getting out of my half has been the problem. But sometimes you just need that little bit of luck, and that touch from George Evans to get it over the top of the goalkeeper there was unbelievable. And now Spurs are crumbling. They really are. Look at this. It's too easy for us. There's Fratchak coming forward. Fratchak from distance. Jedvaj clears it away. Corner ball, CREWE. Spurs have crumbled. They're out of energy. I think their second wing needs to come in now because if it doesn't, it's going to get worse. Mbappe's header. Jay Green catches. So 90 minutes on the clock. Any moment now the referee's going to end this off. That's a good shot from Kane, but it's not enough. It goes wide of the post, and Ezri Konsa can taste the Champions League final again. He knows he's going to get their hands on that one once again, Ezri Konsa. Can you believe it? Been with us since the earlier days. Signed from Charlton. And my goodness me, how good has he been? Angel Correa's header's not going to be good enough. Donnarumma, smash it out, son. Ref, anytime you want to end this game off, you do it, son. Hang on a moment, actually, because we have another chance. Kylian Mbappe. Here we go. Got to be a good cross. It's a decent one, but it's headed out by Toussaint. There is the full-time whistle. CREWE Alexandria, Champions League winners again. The final game of the series that we will play in a CREWE shirt. And my goodness me, it was a performance worthy of signing off a series. Mbappe's first half goal giving us the lead before Ali equalised. And then a Fratchak show to add a couple more before Evans slotted in the 4th of the game. And look at Konsa. He's been with us since the start. And now he gets his hands on yet another Champions League trophy. Success story for CREWE. This is where the journey ends under DJ Wood. I'm sure whoever would come in after this would do a decent job. But there we go then. Konsa. He's going to get his hands on the Champions League trophy. There it is again, boys. And all the trials of this season, we were trying to get a quadruple, unable to do it. But we do the double, the league and the Champions League. The 2 more important ones that we need to win, may I add. And there he is, Fratchak. 2 goals from him today, securing it. But we're going to get to witness Ezri Konsa lifting the Champions League trophy as CREWE are crowned again. Get in there, boys. And this is the final time we're going to get to see him, ladies and gents. So savour the moment. This is it. No more CREWE for this season of FIFA 18. Of course, there will be a Road to Glory career mode coming out on FIFA 19. Don't you worry about that. That will be returning for the next edition of FIFA. But for now, Road to Glory career mode club part of this series will come to an end with CREWE Alexandra crowning themselves again. I mean, who is the player of the series, though? There hasn't really been a standout player for me, but I've got to say this. Alexander Arnold was brilliant for me at England at the World Cup when we won it. So much so, he joined us here at CREWE. We made the signing happen. He's been good again. But just have a little think, guys. Who would you give player of the series to for this CREWE team? Leave me a comment down below, because I've got to do it, of course, as part of the end of the series thingamabob. But there you go. Match facts wise, I said that Spurs gave a better account of themselves in the second half. They did. It was a bit more difficult for us to really get going in that second half, but we ultimately did it. And there it is then. Champions League winners. Not for the first time, may I add. So I've got a couple of things to show you before we go then, guys. As you can see, player stats, we're going to take a look at them in the Champions League. So Mbappe was a top scorer. Fratchak on 7. Mbappe, highest assist maker as well for the Champions League. In terms of the Premier League, though, that's where I'm also intrigued to see. I don't think we had the top scorer of the league. That went to Jovic. Luka Jovic of Bournemouth won it. Mbappe, 16 strikes, 1 behind him. Pulisic with 14 as well. Assist-wise, Pulisic in there with 8. Mbappe in there with 8 as well. Clean sheets went to Courtois, joint with Donnarumma. But yeah, ultimately, who is your standout player of the, I guess, the series, ultimately? We did have, what was it, Brereton in here for a bit. He scored probably the highest goals in a season that we saw. Brereton, I've got to say, he scored, what was it, 30-something in 38 or so. So definitely, he was one of the better players from the series. But for this season, in particular, the highest was Mbappe with 33 goals in 61 games. 14 assists as well. Pulisic at 23, Fratchak on 18, Da Costa on 10, Calvert-Lewin hitting 5, Dominic Evans on... I keep calling him George Evans, I mean Dominic Evans on 5, Barso Villa on 5 as well. Barso Villa has been here a long time. He really has done. But as I said, have a little think, guys. Who is your player of the series? And I'll throw that on there. For me, I don't think you can discount Ezri Konsa. Because year upon year, he's done the business. Stands at, he's 82 rated now, but he's just been brilliant throughout. He really has. Signed him way back in one of the other seasons for a cheap fee as well. He has been massive for our series. And as we go into the European Championships then in the next episode, I'll play the entire thing through for you guys to enjoy. And then that'll be the end of this series. We have been drawn against Spain, Czech Republic, and Portugal in Group B, so a very tough group that is. Belgium, Netherlands, Wales, and Bulgaria make up Group C. Group D involves Germany, Poland, Switzerland, Hungary, with Group A finishing it off with Italy, France, Greece, and Russia. I think we've got probably the hardest group there, but we'll see what we're going to do in that one. Can't remember who's actually called up to my England team for this one. I probably should have taken a look at that, as I can't call up any more people, but I'm pretty sure the players I've got in there are the team that I actually did want to have. So, in terms of strikers, we've got Kane, Tammy Abraham, Rashford, Brereton on the bench, of course, as I said, formerly of us. He's 99 acceleration, 98 sprint speed, which is sensational. Raheem Sterling as well in there, Dominic Solanke. So good players all across the board. In terms of midfielders, we've got Ali, Winks, Loftus-Cheek, Ali, of course, and Kane playing in that Champions League final a moment ago with Dowell to call upon. Reece Nelson now as well. Tom Davies on the bench. In terms of the defenders, Ben Chilwell, Keane, Stones, and Gomez. Wait a minute. Mistake has made because Alexander Arnold isn't here. Mason Holgate is in there. I think Alexander Arnold picked up an injury on my last call up to England, and that's why he's not here. There we go then. I think Joe Gomez will still do a good job for us anyway. He's very quick. He'll do enough anyways. So yeah, with Alfie Mawson, Maguire, Shaw, and Holgate on the bench. Goalkeepers, Butland, Pickford, and of course, Jay Green in the goal. There we go then. So, I'll catch you all for the European Championships next episode. Make sure you hit a like on today's video if you did enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this entire series through. As I have said in the past, you guys are incredible. I thank you so much. We will all have a, my career roundup, I guess you could say, after the European Championships has finished with the best moments, best goals, who got the player of the series, all that good stuff to come as well. I understand as well we have made less episodes this year in the Road to Glory career mode than I did in the last year's game, but that is down to the fact that as well we got through so much, and it took me a bit longer as well last year to be able to actually get through the actual season, so there is that. But there we go. So I will catch you all again next time, guys. Champions League winners for the upteenth time, and I'm looking forward to the European Championships to end off the series. For the final time in a CREWE shirt. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all again soon. Adios!